All right, we're live. I'm back. I forgot to use this. There's if you want this Barbie gift, let me know. It's amazing. All right. So this is the Pagemaster for the Game Boy. Based on my practice, it's either going to be 6 minutes under estimate or like 10 minutes over estimate, so hopefully we'll get the former. Also, if you liked that auto scroller in the beach section, you're gonna love this game. All right, so we'll get started here. Let's get to 1,000 for the kids. For the kids. I am holding the wrong controller. Sorry, y'all. I was still holding my NES controller. Don't worry about it. All right, so we're gonna hit start twice, and then time starts on when I gain control of Richard. So I will let you know when that is. It's gonna be in 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so this is Pagemaster for the Game Boy. It's a mostly forgotten game. It's a movie tie-in of a mostly forgotten movie. Both were released in 1994. So this is an original Game Boy game that was released in 1994. So as a result, you're going to see a lot of things like the levels are really big, and the animations are really good, and it has a custom Super Game Boy border, which is what you're seeing here with our 3 little friends on the sides. So the movement is really nice in this game. A lot of this game should be great, but instead it's terrible. So that's all I'm going to say about that. So basically, for the first couple of levels, we're just skipping the entire, we're just skipping all of the level, basically. These levels are actually very, very huge. Oh my god, I forgot about this. We're just going to take a death here. That's fine. We're going to take a death. It's not a big deal. There's the actual speedrun has deaths routed into the run, so it's no big deal. I just need to start paying attention to what I'm doing instead of talking. So I'm running any percent. I'm the only person who runs this game. I think there should be 2. Oh my gosh, this is going fantastic. Oh, I have invincibility. Fun. I didn't realize there was invincibility down there. Oh boy, that's not awesome at all. We're just gonna hope for the best here. I actually don't know where I am. This is amazing. Oh, you're seeing parts of the level I've never seen before. I've never fallen there before. How do we get back up here? We're gonna take another death. It's fine. This is exactly how it's supposed to go. Killed animated Macaulay Culkin. That's not the only time he'll die. Don't you worry. All right, we're gonna actually do this properly. This is the easiest level in the entire game, so this is going really well. It's fine. Oh my gosh, that's just amazing. All right, let's actually do this properly, huh? All right, so this is what it's supposed to look like. So we're just skipping over the top of the level. These levels are really big, but since we're running any percent, we're just gonna skip all of the levels. I'm not trolling us, I promise. All right, so this is the first auto scroller in the game. There are going to be 4 auto scrollers, totaling about 13 minutes of game time. Okay, let me explain. Let me explain why I have no idea what's in any of these levels. So, the point of this game is to, if you've seen the movie, the whole point is Richard, played by Macaulay Culkin in the movie, is trying to get his library card to get out of, I don't know, some sort of secret, secret subspace. Like, he hits his head and he ends up as a cartoon, and he has to get out of the cartoon by getting his library card. It's a whole thing. So in this game, you need to get the good ending, you need to retrieve all 9 library cards. Instead of 1, you need to get 9 library cards. 3 in each world. There's 3 worlds, just like in Barbie. So this is the first world. This is the horror world. The movie is actually kind of stupid. Like, there's nothing that really happens in the movie. We'll talk about the movie. We have lots of time to chit-chat about the movie later on. But basically, instead of getting all 9 library cards, I'm going to get none of the library cards, because that's easier, and any percent. So, a little bit about the actual mechanic. We're going to duck behind this checkpoint marker because that's tradition. And so basically a little bit about the mechanics of the game. So we have a bunch of collectibles in the game. We have these keys. These keys do something. I don't know what they do. It's some sort of collectible. What collectible you actually get varies by which world you're in. We're in horror. There's going to be adventure and fantasy later. And they do things. They like give you bonus stages and stuff like that. We're not going to see the single best animation in the game. Also, since we have lots of auto-scrollers, I'm going to try to give you as many of the best animations in this game as possible, because the game has amazing animations. Oh boy, this bat decided to despawn itself. Just flew off screen and despawned. So a little bit about the other pickups. I have a boot on the top right corner of the top left corner of the screen, as you may have noticed. That is our level 1 power-up. Our level 1 power-up is kind of like the mushroom in Mario. It basically gives us an extra hit. Normally, as you saw a lot, Richard dies in one hit. But if you have the shoes, he dies in 2 hits. And then we have the level 2 pickups. So you saw me, I had the sword for a little while there. The sword gives me a melee attack if I hit B. There are other level 2 upgrades. This is where you take an intentional death in the actual speedrun, but since we took deaths, we're not going to do it. Alright. So we're just going to do that. Alright. The other level 2 pickups are Bag of Magic Powder, which we should never see unless things go terribly wrong. We have Glove, which this guy drops Glove, actually, which lets you... Bag of Magic just gives you a projectile attack. Glove lets you climb on anything. Oh boy, I have no hit points left. That's fine. We're just gonna do that. So we're on the last level here. Yeah, Cool Spot's not a bad. There's also a Super Nintendo version of this game. It's better than this one. So if you are very nostalgic for the Pagemaster movie, play the Super Nintendo version of this game. Do yourself a favor and don't play this. It's not very good. I wish it were better, actually. It should be better, but it's just not very good. And the last level 2 upgrade we have is the eye. The eye is an absolutely fascinating... Oh my gosh, that's amazing. That bat is doing God's work. So a little note about the spawns in this game. I can't even explain Eye, honestly. Eye is a projectile that does things. It bounces, and there's like a bunch of them. Oh, I'm dead. Wow! Oh, this is not going well at all. It's fine, though. I was going to say there was a note about something, but I forgot, so it's fine. There's infinite continues in this game, so if I game over, we just have to restart the world. It's not the biggest deal in the world. Come on, up, 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 up. Oh my goodness. Just take a deep breath. All right, so this is the last level, and this is the last level in the world. So we're just gonna be a little bit careful here. Oh boy. Yes, enemy spawns. So, enemy spawns are 100% fixed. So, the same enemies are going to spawn in the same spot every single time, but their behavior is completely random. Oh, gosh. I hope you didn't miss the auto-scroller. Don't worry, Drex, there's 3 more. We have no lives left. This has never happened before. This game is really bad. I agree, and I'm playing poorly, and I apologize. I'm glad Barbie went well. I just hope we don't have to start the whole run over. Even if we go in with 0 lives into the second level, it should be fine. Alright, we have the extra hitbox. So, yes. So enemy spawns are 100% fixed, and enemy drops are completely fixed as well. So if an enemy is going to drop a level 2 power-up, and you have no power-ups, it'll drop a level 1 power-up, the boot. If you, there we go. Everything's fine. See? See. Alright, there we go. So that's the end of level 1. So that's level 1 finished. Where is the this is not Fallout, I apologize. We're running a little bit behind. This is Pagemaster for the Game Boy. So yes, Fallout is right after this. Don't you worry. That's good. That's a good run. This is not. That's a good run. So don't you worry. So we're now in Adventure World. We're gonna skip this. So this is the shortest world. There's only three required stages. There was 5 if you counted on the previous stage. This one has 3. So don't die. I got an extra life for completing the level. So there are intentional deaths routed into this game. I cannot believe I took that hit. I'm very upset with myself. All right, so we have the power up again. Yeah, so this world has 3 required stages. That's a bonus stage that we're gonna skip. Thank you. I'm glad you guys are enjoying this run. This is the second of 3 stages right here. So that's this. It's going right here. Yep. Oh boy, that's not awesome. Here, you drop boot. That's fine. Cool. Yes. So enemy spawns. Let's actually finish my thought about enemy spawns here. Also, yes, boot gives you a wall kick. It's great. Enemy spawns. They're completely fixed, and the drops are completely fixed, but their behavior is entirely random. So something could spawn, and then start, like, especially the books could spawn and then start flying off screen. It could some of the enemies that have projectiles can just randomly snipe you from off screen as well. This is a little shortcut we're gonna take. That's definitely a theme in this. We're gonna take as many shortcuts as humanly possible. I'm trying to be as safe as possible. I'm gonna just wait here. Wait him. And yes, they are throwing. They're throwing turkey legs. Don't worry. That lady. Everybody's throwing turkey legs. Those helmets are invincibility. If that wasn't clear yet. All right, so that's level 2 down. I'm glad you guys think this is entertaining, because this is it's a rough speed run. I will say that. All right. So this is auto-scroller number 2 of 4, and the only auto-scroller in this stage. I took a death there, so that's cool. So, oh boy. Oh, things are going to get real dicey. Oh my gosh. Okay. I was hoping I wasn't going to take a death in this world, but we're just going to boop. Oh man. 200-word essay? Well, then, get a better meme maybe then. I don't know. That's a really, really old Twitch meme. I appreciate that. All right, so let's talk about the movie itself for a little bit. This run's going to start getting really dicey, so if we have to pull the plug at some point, that's, you know, it is what it is. You got to kind of get the idea of the game here, but that's okay, because we're not going to get any extra lives. So I was trying to take this as safe as possible. In the speed run, normally you take an intentional death in each stage. In each world, so to avoid a bonus stage at the end of the level that loses a bunch of time but gives you a bunch of extra lives. So I was hoping that I would get a bunch of extra lives by doing one of the 2 bonus games and at least having like 10 or 11 lives. But instead, we're going to have 1, so that's going to be real good. Oh, no, I thought I despawned that guy. That's a little game I like to play with myself. So let's actually talk about the movie itself. So the Pagemaster is a half... oh my gosh, I'm dead. That's a game over. Is that a game over? I think we game overed. Sweet. All right, we get to do the first 2 levels again. We're in this together, right? You and me. We're just gonna do this. I've never game overed on this stage. This is quite a thing. All right. So we're just gonna do this again. The good news is now I might be able to do the bonus stage. All right, so we're gonna do that. Oh, this is going a lot better already. All right, here we go. So this is what this level is supposed to look like. And we're just going to drop down here. And we're done. All right. Good. I'm glad you guys like the first 2 levels, because you get to see them again. Yes, so the movie is a half live action, more than part live action, part animated movie. It was released in 1994 after 3 years in production. It's about it stars Macaulay Culkin that he's the main character, and he plays this fearful child named Richard. A child named Richard is a very interesting concept, I realize, but that's okay. Don't worry about it. We have our level 2 power-up here, so that's going real well. And basically, he's a very fearful child. The beginning of the movie is basically establishing him as basically a large scaredy cat. He rides this bike with a bunch of extra, So we're just going to kill these guys much quicker. 1, 2, and 3. Wait for him to throw. Gonna wait for him to throw. Sweet, alright. So that's what that's supposed to look like. The good news is the next level might actually, this might be the best, a child named Dick is better? No, name your child something like a real name. Like a John or something, like a real person's name. So you see him at the beginning. His dad, played by Ed Begley Jr. There's a lot of very famous people in this movie. Ed Begley Jr. Is most known for being Ed Begley Jr., being references on 90s TV shows mostly. And he's building him a treehouse, and Richard goes, well, your name is Dick? Oh, my apologies. That's interesting. There's no slight against people named Richard, by the way, but it's just not a name you see for little kids. Oh, this is the best animation in the entire game. It's when Richard... when Richard is hanging from a thing and swinging his sword, he goes, ooh. Basically, that is the best animation in the game. And if you've seen the movie, that is true to life. So Ed Begley Jr., his dad, is building him a treehouse, and Richard goes, tree houses cause, there's like a, 8% more likelihood of blunt trauma to the head and all kinds of other fun things like that. He's basically an overly cautious child. He rides this bike that has like a screen visor and like really like loud taillights, and he wears this like extra thick helmet and all this stuff. And he basically, what happens is that he rides to the library in a rainstorm, and he gets into the library, and this library has a very eccentric librarian named Mr. Dewey, named for the Dewey Decimal System, obviously. They're really good at naming people in this game, in this movie. Narth is making a joke because I have a degree in math. Yeah, he should probably go to therapy, but instead what he ends up doing is he goes to the library, and this very eccentric librarian, played by Christopher Lloyd of Back to the Future fame, he basically says, I know what you need, and then Richard hits his head. He basically is standing in a puddle of water that he's created himself, from all of the water that he got, because he's soaking wet from the storm, and he hits his head. And my theory is that he gets a concussion, and so the rest of the movie, most of the rest of the movie is a cartoon now. So he finds himself in this weird animated land. So Macaulay Culkin still voices the voice of Richard for the rest of this movie, and the first person he meets is so. You see this really awesome custom Super Game Boy border we have here for the Pagemaster, 94 Game Boy game, so it has a custom Game Boy a custom Game Boy border here. So you see the pirate, you see that pirate book at the bottom? That's oh my god, spoilers. So the bottom one there on both sides, that's adventure. So that was the So that's the world we're in now. The adventure world is named after you have basically 3 companions in their books, like talking books, and we have adventure down there. The middle one is horror, which is the one he looks really kind of sick here, and then the top one is fantasy. So that's going to be the third world that we're going to see right now. This is under the Fortnite tab. Oh my god, it's under the Fortnite tab. Holy crap. I'm so sorry. No, it's not. Are we on front page? Sounds like we're on front page. That's fine. So basically, that is the end of stage 2. We actually get the bonus stage now because I game overed. Remember that? So we're going to get a bunch of extra lives here. Bunch of extra lives. All right, so we're in much better shape now. We have 8 lives. A fortnight. Yeah, so we're very, very behind, but that's okay. So that was the adventure world. The only way to get extra lives is to not die. That's my favorite part of this game. It's a pirate, but it's supposed to be like the adventure book. So now we're in fantasy. This has 4 levels. It's by far the hardest stage in world in the game. And we'll talk more about the movie here in a second, but we're just gonna be a little bit careful first. That is the only there's one enemy in this game that doesn't die in 1 hit, and it's that guy with the sword, and he dies in 4 hits. That's Humpty Dumpty. He's not in the movie at all, but he is there. Don't get hit. Don't get hit. All right, so that's Glove. Glove basically treats every ceiling like a vine. So we're just going to do that. There you go. You saw it. That's Humpty Dumpty again. And that's the first level. We cool. We cool. All right, so this is auto-scroller number 3. This is the longest and most difficult auto-scroller. So let's chit-chat about... so basically, these three books basically accompany him to all 3 of the worlds that were described. So at the beginning, you're basically in a horror world. That's where we meet horror. And the horror world is basically Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde's house. And we meet Dr. Jekyll for like 30 seconds, and then a vial breaks, and then he becomes Mr. Hyde, and then he falls in a hole, and that's the entire thing. It lasts like 30 seconds. And in fact, if you saw, I think this guy, okay, if you watched the first world in this game and the enemy that throws projectiles, that was Dr. Jekyll or Mr. Hyde, I guess, throwing vials at you. Hey, L Rock, thanks for the good luck. I appreciate it. This is a tough. All right, so let's talk about some of the people in this. Some of the voice actors in this movie. It's actually kind of ridiculous. I actually don't know what these. I don't know what these collectibles are. I also don't care. Don't die here. Okay, so Adventure is voiced by Sir Patrick Stewart. Otherwise known as Picard. We're going to ignore that book because that book is a no-good troublemaker, and we don't want to deal with it at all. Perfect. Sir Patrick Stewart, Captain Picard in Star Trek Next Generation. Adventure, so that was Adventure. Horror is voiced by Frank Welker, who's a very, very famous voice artist. He's most known as the voice of Scooby-Doo. I should have gone farther to the right there. He's the voice of Scooby-Doo, and he's also the voice of Fred in Scooby-Doo. He's also the voice of Garfield. He's also, if you guys watch Futurama, he's the voice of Nibbler. So he's a quite famous voice actor. Losing that power-up is okay because this guy here drops that same power-up, so it's not a big deal. So we're just going to kill him, grab the power-up, and now we're good to go. And then Fantasy, who's at the top there, is voiced by Whoopi Goldberg. Of Whoopi Goldberg fame. She's in, like, Sister Act or Ghost, other things. So I mentioned Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. That is voiced by Leonard Nimoy, also of Star Trek fame. That book flew off screen, which is fun, because he drops I, which is a power-up I need for the next level. Let's see, what else have we got here? Captain Ahab, we meet Captain Ahab in between horror and adventure. And Captain Ahab is voiced by George Hearn, who's most famously the voice of Sweeney Todd. I'm dead. I'm not dead? I'm dead. That's fine. Yes, Megatron as well. Yeah, Frank Welker is Megatron as well. Yeah, there's a lot of Star Trek in this. Oh, yeah, so the enemy patterns are totally RNG, and that was one of the worst possible ones. The worst thing that a book can do is when it spawns, because everything spawns off screen, the worst thing a book can do is start flying, because I can't reach it, and then it can dive bomb you. It's really bad. It's okay. That's the reason I wanted a lot of lives, is because this is The reason I wanted a lot of lives is because you can die a lot on this level, and I don't really want to. Oh, by the way, my PB is 2109, so we're already past that because of the game over on level 2. Let's see who else we've got. We've got. That's unfortunate. Let's see here. Does not die. Cool. All right. Long John Silver. So that's like the main enemy we meet in the Adventureland. Long John Silver is voiced by Jim Cummings. Most notably, Winnie the Pooh. He's the voice of Winnie the Pooh. He's also the voice of the narrator of Animaniacs. He's also Cat from Cat Dog for any 90s kids out there. He's also he does a bunch of voices for Star Trek video games, so we're back to Star Trek again. There's a bunch of different pirates that are voiced by very famous voice actors. Let's see here. I really wish I didn't die twice here, but it's fine. Yeah, you can spam 4-part emotes. I'm all about it. Spam. If anybody's a cool kid, sub, spam his face in 4 parts. Let's see what else we've got. I have little notes here. Oh, wow. Okay, so as you saw there, that book spawned off screen. Spawned off screen, flew away, and then hit me as I was jumping. Nothing I can do about that one. That's RNG. Let's see here. Another voice actor for one of the pirates is Robert Picardo, who plays the Doctor on Star Trek Voyager. So there's another Star Trek guy. Yeah, this run is rough. So yeah, this could end up going a little overestimate. I'm in fact probably going to go overestimate here, but that's okay. That's okay. We're fine. We're having fun. We're already behind schedule. People are waiting for Fallout. So you get this instead. All right. Another pirate is voiced by, let's see. It happened again. Haha! I foiled the evil book there. That was. I feel very happy about that. Marathon's always overestimate. Estimates are for chumps anyway. All right, we're doing okay. This book. Oh my God, this book played nice. We have I. Guys, we have I. I is a very interesting. As you can see, it's a projectile. I can shoot 5 of them at a time, and they bounce, and then they come back to me in boomerang style. It's very weird. It's impossible to explain. This book also spawns I, but now since we have it, it spawns ring, which is just points. Also, you guys saw that basically 2, 3, and 4. Platforms move faster than the screen scrolls during auto-scrollers. So basically, you have to time when you land on platforms very carefully. So this is the end of this auto-scroller. We did it, guys. So F to the estimate, because we have one more auto-scroller here. This auto-scroller is tough because there's no drops. So the drops that you have in this level are the drops you're going to end up with. So I have 2 hit points and nothing else. So we're gonna try. I'm gonna try my darndest to keep I here. We have lots of lives, is the good news. So we're probably not gonna game over or anything like that. Oh boy. So shout out to that book that just spawned, that flew, that basically phased into the roof there. That was fun. Make sure to kill everything in my path here. So other interesting voice actors. So we've got the Queen of Hearts, which is in Fantasy World, is voiced by B.J. Ward. B.J. Ward is most famously Scarlet from G.I. Joe and Velma from Scooby-Doo. And also does more voice work for Star Trek video games, so more Star Trek. And then most importantly, the only pirate character that's given a name is Tom Morgan. Not Captain Morgan, different Morgan. And it's voiced by Phil Hartman. Phil Hartman is famously SNL alum. He voiced Troy McClure on The Simpsons. Philip J. Fry on Futurama is named after him, and he's part of he's one of the main characters in one of my favorite TV shows of all time called News Radio. So rest in peace, Phil Hartman. News Radio was a fantastic sitcom in the 90s about a radio network. It stars like Dave Foley of Kids in the Hall of Fame. It stars Maura Tierney before she was on ER. Stars Andy Dick. Stars Joe Rogan before he went crazy. It stars Stephen Root, who's most famously Milton on Office Space. It stars Condi Alexander before she was on CSI, whatever the heck. It's a really... Oh, no, don't die. Oh, that sucks so bad. Oh, my God. That was the end of the level, guys. Oh, I'm so sad. Oh, I was just kidding about Joe Rogan. He's just he's a little nutty. He does MMA color commentary, and he has a kind of a nutty podcast. Joe Rogan was not crazy. He was a comedian once upon a time. So we're gonna have to do this the hard way now, which is really frustrating. But that's okay. Gonna get on this at the last possible second, and then jump off. Yeah, there are no drops in this level. Yes. Concern Froge, exactly. Concern Froge is in chat, please. I am concerned. I am Froge. Oh, yeah, we're at 30 minutes now. This is great. This was one of the 2 outcomes that I was predicting. Alright, so this jump here. This is the jump I died on. Alright, he was much nicer this time. So that's the end of the level. So we did it. That unicorn is my emote. Alright, so we're on the last level of the game here. Whew, we're done with the auto-scrollers. Auto-scrollers are done. We did it. So now we have one more level here. This is pretty intense here, so we're just going to be as careful as possible. This guy drops boot. We need that boot, so let's not get hit again. We got hit, so we're just going to take a death. Shout out to mods who actually get to work. Hey, front page, how y'all doing? I'm feeling good. Drop boot here. We're almost done. I promise. We are almost done. This is a short level. Don't get hit by Humpty Dumpty. Don't get hit by this evil book. All right. We're doing okay now. We need boot to get to this this little shortcut right here. We also need 1 hit point to take some damage right here. All right. So now we got to the checkpoint. We're going to cheat and grab this invincibility because this thing is a mess. This area is right here is a mess. So we're just going to ignore it, all of it. And then we're going to hit this guy, grab boot. And we're going to spawn this. There's that platform up there. You have to go all the way around the entire stage to spawn that platform. But if you have boot, you could just jump up and spawn it. We have that. All right, so time is coming up very soon here. Oh, there are no bosses, by the way. In the game, in the movie, there is a final boss. It's a dragon, but there is no final boss. And time is coming up here once I die on the bonus game. And time. Sweet. There we go. We did it. All right. I apologize for being a little overestimate. That went pretty sideways, but it could have gone a lot worse. But we finished, and I'm very happy about that. And I'd like to thank Valuethon for having me show off a game I love and a game I hate, Barbie and Pagemaster, respectively. Hopefully this was a good demonstration as to why to not play this game, but why you should play Barbie. So thank you guys. Donate to Save the Children. What Twitch channel? Sharif162 on Twitch. Twitch.tv/Sharif162. Thank you guys, and have a great rest of the marathon. Shout out to Fallout coming up next.